Hello, pod listeners. I'm back with Keats Pod. It's been a while. Anyway, guys, I have a special guest with me. I haven't seen him in a long time. Um, I haven't actually spoken to him in a very long time either, which makes sense if you don't see someone in a long time. But anyway, my next special guest is a very special person, and his name is Zac Sticksy Stanton. How are you, pal?
Good, Casey. How are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm pretty well, thanks. Look,
Yeah,
I've been pretty crook last few weeks, and I've
yeah.
come
We have
pretty
to
good now.
postpone
I
a few
know
times.
this pod was due to be done a few weeks ago, but I was pushing it back. Then you had to push it back, but now we're here, mate.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
finally here. It's all good.
Exactly.
But anyway, Stixie, mate, what we'll do is we'll start off. Now, are you a podcast fan?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. So just the
Uh,
usual podcasts that you listen to. Which ones do you usually listen to?
I love listening to Kane and Kingy on Monday and Friday morning. So I
Mm-hmm.
catch up on that. Bit of Dylan Friends, bit of Howie Games. Um, that's the main one. So I
Bit of Keys
like
Pod.
listening to a bit and a bit of Keats on, mate, as well. So, of course. Um, Oh, you're only new, mate, so I've just had to find time to slot you into the rotation,
Yeah, I know. I can't pump them out
Yeah,
like the other guys, but
yeah.
I do try. Anyway, I'm a podcast fan myself. I like footy classifieds. So
Yep.
I don't know if you know this, but they actually record the episodes on Channel 9 and you can listen to them, which is good.
It's a
Um,
TV show, eh?
yeah, it's
Yeah,
good. You
yeah,
know,
right.
they rotate the people. I like listening to Jimmy Bartell. I like listening to Eddie Maguire and James Hurd. He goes on it, so they've got some pretty good people to listen to. Also, they have Jimmy Bartell and Eddie Maguire have their own pod, and what they've done is they've combined it in the footy classified one. So if you go on Spotify or Apple,
Mm.
wherever you listen to them, you actually see two different podcasts under footy classified. So I listen to that as well. Um, I'm an Andrew Tate fan. Have you heard of Andrew Tate?
I've
Mate,
heard of him.
that guy can talk like no one, mate. He's brilliant. Anyway,
What's your favourite Andrew Tate learning? He's got a few wise
he's
words.
just very interesting when you hear him speak. He's very, very smart. He's the governments are trying to get him because he's so influential. Like he appeals a lot to younger males and males in their mid 30s and things like that with the things that he says. And look, he's just really interesting. And it's interesting how they're trying to get him with rape cases. In Romania, they try to do it. Spoke to all these girls, tried to frame him, but they couldn't get any evidence. The poor guy was locked up in Romania with his brother for like 3 or 4 months, and they were
Yeah,
innocent.
right,
They just treated like shit.
right.
Anyway, there's a few. I'm a Joe Rogan fan as well. I like listening to
Yeah,
his podcasts. They're very long. They go for like three or
yeah,
four
they
hours.
are. Yeah, I've listened
so
to a couple.
yeah, so they're the ones I mainly listen to. I listen to Keith Spot a bit myself, so I
Yeah,
like to listen to myself rabble on.
number one fan.
Anyway, mate, you're living in Brisbane at the moment.
Yep, in
Yes.
Brizzy.
So you're living with your mum. Your mum's up there.
My mum does live in Brisbane, but I don't live with her. But yeah, she's here as well. Uh,
Cool. Are you
yeah.
okay? So
Uh,
you've moved out of home?
yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you live with roommates, or you got a partner, or
Yeah, I live with my partner Kirby and my stepbrother Dom as well.
all right, cool. That's
Yeah.
good, mate.
Yeah.
That's really good. So have you been back in Geelong much since well, I used to see you back in the RC Designer Garden days.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been back a few times, not a whole lot since I left, but probably a couple of times a year or something like that, maybe.
Yeah.
Um, Not much has changed around there, but it's good to get back and see a few people. Dad's
So
still there and
you
all that.
so you've made this. Why did you make the decision to stay in Brisbane long term and not come back to Geelong?
So this is just always home.
Mm,
So I had a great time there, but always home, and so yeah, it was good to come back, and yeah, love it here. Did like Geelong, but I had a crap boss when I was there as well, so thought I'd pack up and come back to Brizzy, get a different job.
Okay. Fair enough, mate. So just in Brizzy, were you affected with the floods that happened not long ago?
I was all right, luckily, but
Yeah.
we're on a bit of a hill here. So we were all right, but there was a few shutdowns around us. It was a bit hard to get around for a few days, but yeah, we were all right, thankfully.
Yeah. How old are you now these days, mate?
I'm 29 now.
Wow.
Old boy.
Jeez. Remember
Yeah.
back in the RC Designer Garden days, you were like 20. It's been so long. You were such a puppy dog. Time flies, mate. Scary.
Time does fly. How old are
Yeah.
you now?
I am 36.
Yeah. Wow. You
Yeah.
holding on to that hair all right?
Yeah, I am, mate, actually.
Yeah.
So you can see it's
Yeah.
still got a
Yeah.
thick.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice,
yeah. So the hair's
looking
still
good.
there, mate. So in terms of did you have brothers or sisters, Sticksy?
Originally an only child, but my parents remarried, so I got a stepbrother and a stepsister on either side now. So
Oh,
four
yeah.
steps.
What do they do for a living?
Here in Brizzy, Dom, my housemate, he works at Hertz,
Mm-hmm.
the car rental place,
Yeah.
and stepsister is studying to be a dietitian.
Oh, nice.
And then in Geelong, they got the younger sister is doing acting, and Jacob, the brother, he's a teacher.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So the acting, is that more stage play acting?
At the moment, yeah, more stage play acting, but I think she's auditioned for a few TV shows and stuff. I don't think.
Cool. What sort of
Haven't
shows,
got
like Home and
anywhere
Away?
yet, but I'm not actually sure yet. I think there was some new kind of show they were maybe going to start up. I didn't quite. I haven't asked her the details, but
Underbelly?
I'm sure she'll get there one day. Yeah, Underbelly maybe.
Look, to be honest, there's not a lot of popular Australian TV series. Like I just spoke Home and Away. It's been around for so long, but yeah. Look, if she really wants to get into it, maybe she's got to go to America if she really wants to pursue it. More opportunities.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
In terms of your job at the moment, like, what are you doing for work at the moment?
I'm a carpenter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice, mate. So you're fully qualified?
Fully qualified, yep. Working for a residential builder.
Yeah.
In Brizzy.
Yeah. That's good, mate.
Yeah.
Because I was a chippy in my younger days. I did the 4 years. Yeah. So, and then I was about 23 when I finished.
Yeah.
So,
I remember you used to teach us a few woodworking tips in the old landscaping days.
Yeah, I know. Like when you were cutting, what are they called? Like the garden, like you're doing the garden edges. And I used to try and teach you guys how to cut it properly because some of those RC designer garden workers were cowboys on those hand tools.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So look, mate, being a chippy, you just learn some life skills that you can just you take with you forever.
You do, mate.
You know, especially when you buy a house, you want to renovate it, you just know what you're doing. And they are vital life skills. So no, that's good, mate. So do you see yourself being a chippy longer, or do you want to veer in a different direction with in the building industry?
Well, I've just done my study to eventually be able to work for myself one day.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got my Cert 4, and if I have a bit more time supervising sites, then I'll be able to get my builder's license and maybe work for myself. That's one of the options for the future, but I still don't know really. Just make it up as I go.
Yeah, just say your back's no good and you got to stop. Would you consider being like a site supervisor for like Metricon Homes or something like that?
Oh, I don't know about that. It's a few cowboys around there, I reckon, as well, Metricon Homes.
Oh, it depends on the trades. They've got some really good trades, and they've got others that yeah, look, they're not great, but usually Metricon, if you're terrible, they will flick you off and not use
Mm.
you. So yeah, look,
Yeah,
people have
no,
their
it's an
opinions on
option.
Metricon. Yeah,
I might think about it, but yeah, get off the tools maybe and somewhere else in the industry. But
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah,
Could
because
be
that's
a
what I've done,
building
mate.
surveyor.
Yeah, getting into building surveying. So yeah, I really thought ahead of my future and focusing on more an office job where I get the opportunity to go out and do inspections on job sites and that. So
Mm.
yeah, look,
Would
building
you?
surveying, it's a 3 year. Well, if you study in Victoria, it's 3 years the degree. You can do an advanced diploma. I think they're 18 months, but you when you get registered, you can only get registered as a building surveyor limited if you do the advanced diploma. Which,
Yeah,
but if you want to be a building surveyor unlimited, issue a permit for anything, even big commercial stuff, you got to be building surveyor unlimited. But anyway, even there's drafting Sticksy, like,
yeah,
um, there's a fair bit of work in that, especially with Anthony Albanese wants to build 500,000 houses in the next 5 years.
yeah.
That's what he wants.
Right.
So there's a lot of work out there, mate.
Yeah.
No, that's good. The building industry is good.
Would you
Yeah,
ever
so
get back into landscaping?
mate, no way.
No,
No
no,
way.
not
Like,
keen. Roll a bit of turf.
mate, I remember back in COVID and my hours were cut back at work. I was working with Rob a bit and just the
Mm.
turf jobs, mate. I've ruined my back. I was paying for all these remedial massage sessions. I was getting 2 a week and mate, I'm past it.
Yeah, right.
I'm
Okay,
past it.
nice.
It's a young man's job.
Yeah,
Anyway, for the pod listeners out there, Stixie and I know each other. We used to work at RC Designer Gardens, which is a landscape gardening company. And so, yeah, they were good times, weren't they, Stixie? Plenty
they
good
were, mate.
banter, and
Great time.
they were great times. So
Yeah,
I still talk to those guys. So big shout out to Robbie Condy, Scotty Condy, Hayden Forbes, Charlie Owen, Mark Angelikovic. The list goes on there. So a lot of legends down there that work down there. Now, Stixie, we'll go on to sport now, mate. Now, you're a Brisbane Lions supporter.
I am. Yep.
Now, are you surprised with how they're going this year?
No, not surprised.
You're not surprised. Oh,
Oh, I thought they might struggle a little bit more without Joe, but they've found a way around it.
they
They're
have.
killing it. I went to the
They
G
have.
on the weekend, watched the fight versus the Hawks.
Yeah,
It
that
was a
would have
good
been.
show.
Yeah, Hawthorn have gone downhill a bit.
Mm,
Look, Will Day, he's a really good player, and he's virtually going to miss the whole year for Hawthorn. He's probably, I reckon he could be the next
yeah,
James Hird, Will Day, but the fact that Hawthorn, they're going to miss him for the rest of the year hurts. And
yeah, yeah.
yeah, look, I still think they'll do enough to finish in the eight. I thought they um, finish on top of the ladder, win the premiership, but look, things change in footy. And yeah,
Mm,
look, I am surprised at Brisbane. I thought they'd have a premiership hangover. I didn't think I thought no Joe Danaher. That's a guy that can kick you 60 in a season. So without him.
mm,
But anyway, they found a way. Eric Hipwood's been going okay.
yep.
Charlie Cameron, he's a superstar. He's playing as well as ever. Dane Zorko surprised me. He's the same age as me, and he just gets better. He still
Yeah,
plays very good footy, Dane Zorko. Or geez, he could play. He could be like Boomer Harvey, play till he's 38. So he's 36. If he keeps it up,
yeah,
he very well could. Anyway, mate, we'll talk about now. You do like rugby league, and there's a very
yep.
special game on tomorrow.
There
The
he is.
State of Origin. Who do you reckon will win out of the Maroons and the Blues?
Queensland to win, I reckon.
Now,
Here
Queensland's
it's some.
Maroons, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, what do you reckon they'll get up?
Oh, they just do Origin a bit better. It's here in Brisbane, but it'll be close either way. New South Wales team's very very good, so
Are there going to be a
it'll
few
be a
Melbourne
ripper.
Storm players playing for the Maroons?
Yep. Harry Grant should be playing.
Yeah,
Munster.
yeah,
Uh, I think they might have just got a new young kid in as well.
yeah.
Um, I think he plays for the Storm. So Storm always have pretty strong showing in Origin.
Is Josh Adokar, is he playing in the State of Origin?
Nah,
Oh, he just wasn't good enough this year.
He's had heaps of stuff going on off field and that, I think, and he's a bit off the radar a little bit.
Is he playing?
I think. He's still playing, yeah. Where's he playing now? Parramatta, I think.
Okay.
But yeah.
Jeez, because I used to watch the Melbourne Storm a bit back in the day, when Cam Smith was playing, and they had Josh Adokar on the wing, and they used to give it to him, and he just blasted away. No one could catch him. He was brilliant.
Yeah, he's fast man.
He got caught up with the cocaine, I think, didn't
he? Maybe, yeah, I think so.
Maybe when he got the money he has and the time he has. Yeah, they indulge a bit, these professional sportsmen. But anyway, hopefully he sorts his shit out and he can play State of Origin again, because he is a class player, Josh Adokar. Anyway, mate, just we'll talk a bit about your sporting career. So you were mainly a Aussie rules footballer? You never played rugby? Yeah.
I played rugby union at school, because my school was like a rugby union school. So I played handful of years of that. But mainly I was always wanting to play Aussie rules.
Yeah, that's good, mate. Now, I remember you played at Newtown in Geelong.
Yeah.
And I remember when you were there, they were a pretty strong club. I remember the reserves won a few premierships. Were you in any of those teams?
I won one. One reserve flag.
Yeah.
In my second year there, I think.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
And I remember the seniors were quite strong as well. Were you there when they played in the grand final against Joey's and they lost?
Yeah, that was my first year there.
Yeah.
But I definitely wasn't playing in that game.
Yeah.
I couldn't even get a Reddies game at that stage, I think.
Yeah. Now, I haven't been to a GFL game in a while, but I do look at Facebook scores. I follow the AFL Barwon, and they got all the GFL scores, and St Mary's are killing it at the moment. So the teams that are killing it, St Mary's, Joey's, Leopold are still very good. Lara and North Shore are getting belted. Like, Lara played against St Mary's and lost by 270 points. They're seniors.
Yeah, right. So
they need to do something, Sticksy, in Geelong local football. Like, you got North Shore and Lara in particular that have struggled for so long. And look, there's no point having a team in there when they come against the better sides and they're getting belted by 200 points.
What would you do? Relegate them?
Yeah, look, I think it's important for a football club, or any club, any sporting club, to have a winning culture. I could imagine when Lara play at home, barely anyone would be there, same as North Shore. A winning culture is everything. So, look, for clubs to survive properly, raise money properly, not get themselves in debt, for clubs to actually attract decent players, they've got to have a winning culture. And it's just bloody hard and unfair when you got a few clubs. They're just they've been no good for a long time. Like Lara seniors, they haven't played finals since 2002, which is so long. It's like more than 20 years. And is there much point really keeping a club up there in that top division? They've been no good for 20 years. Anyway, mate. Now the Brisbane League that you played in, would you say that was a pretty similar standard to GFL?
It'd be close, but not quite that standard.
Yeah.
It's probably gotten a bit better the last few years, actually, probably. So I don't know. I haven't seen the GFL in a while, but certainly when I moved back, it was just still slightly not up to GFL standard. But
so, what's the name of the strongest local Brisbane footy league?
Quaffle, the QAFL.
I thought Quaffle was like the standard below AFL.
Well, it is in Queensland, but it's just not as good.
So, did you play in that?
I was in
division?
that, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, but it doesn't at all compare to like the VFL or anything.
Well, I think they've got clubs like the Brisbane Lions seconds and Gold Coast Suns seconds. They're playing in the VFL.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to improve the development of the younger players they got, which is fair enough.
Mm.
Because it puts those clubs at a disadvantage if they're um, the young players that aren't getting game in the ones they're playing in the division below, and it's nowhere near as good as VFL. They're just not developing properly. Way behind
Mm.
the eight ball when they've got to play AFL. No, fair enough, mate. So you said before you got a partner. What does she do for work, Sticksy?
She is a Pilates instructor.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So loves that. Um, got into that pretty recently, and yeah,
Oh, so
good.
you're
I've
doing a bit of
been
Pilates as
doing a
well?
bit of yeah, I've been doing a little bit. Yeah, I'm not real good, but I'm getting there.
Yeah. No, that's good. So, do you use the ball to do Pilates work?
Just a little ball
Or use the
sometimes.
little one? You don't use the
Yeah.
big one.
No, not the big one. I'm on
Okay.
on the reformer machine, so there's not real room for the big balls.
Okay. Oh, that's good, mate. Bit of something different. Um,
Yeah, you should get into it. It might help your back.
Mate, when I actually have a bit of time, I the fitness I do is like a jog around the block, like a few laps. Yeah, it's a bit hard doing gym stuff. If I ever do gym stuff again, I'm gonna have to turn my garage into a bit of a gym. It just gets hard. I'll get home from work anywhere between 6:30 and 7,
Mm,
and then I'll go for a bit of a jog. But yeah, it's a bit hard driving to a gym, coming back, and I've got a young son I've got to be around, and uh,
yeah,
yeah. So anyway, mate,
fair enough.
what we'll do is, mate, because you've had a we could say an event that happened in your life, and it did change your life completely. Now you did have a severe concussion, and for the pod listeners out there, there's actually a couple of YouTube videos where Zac Stanton actually gets interviewed, and it shows the clip where he had his concussion head knock. So the one on ABC on YouTube, ABC News, it had 3,900 views. And on Channel 10's The Project, their video of Zac's incident and interview was 2,500. So a lot of people have watched it. And yeah, just obviously, Zac, it's would you say it's the most horrifying thing that's ever happened to you, this concussion?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it was pretty scary. And it's been pretty full on.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, it was definitely a bit of a shock. Nothing like I hadn't been through anything like that before. So
Is
yeah,
it the only concussion you've ever had?
I think I'd had a couple of maybe one or two small ones just with footy and stuff before, but yeah, definitely nothing even close to this one.
Mm.
Uh,
So with this concussion, so when did this occur?
it was about halfway through 2021.
Okay.
That's nearly
And
4 years now.
are you still having side effects from this concussion till this day?
Yeah, I still do. Um, Still have some issues with my vision and balance,
Mm-hmm.
but it's yeah been improving the whole time. So I'm still working on that. So still hopefully keep getting better till I can back to normalish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So while you're working as a chippy, do you find yourself you'll work for a few hours and then sometimes you just need to sit down or just stand up for a few minutes and just take it easy, then get back to work again?
At the moment, I'm pretty good. I can get through a working week pretty good. But yeah, there was a long time where that was the case, or like
Mm.
I even only like I worked half days for a while just to
Mm.
get back into it. But yeah, I'm going pretty good now. So
Mm.
um, I can work through a full week, and part of my rehab is like going for runs and stuff as well. So I'm pretty
Mm.
active.
No, that's really good, mate. Now, for the pod listeners out there, Zac Stanton's concussion, his head knock is probably the worst I've actually seen in local sport or sport in general. On the ABC News YouTube clip, you actually hear the crack of your skull. So it was a pretty loud crack, Sticksy. Even when you spoke about it, I think did it happen in the forward line?
Nah,
It happened in the back line.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
On the other side of the ground, you could definitely hear the crack of your skull. And I think you did mention that on the video. And geez, this concussion was so bad, pod listeners. Are you deaf in your right ear?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're deaf in your right ear, and you were in hospital for 10 days after that concussion hit, and you had to learn to talk and walk again.
Yeah, I didn't actually have to learn to talk again. I think they took some liberties with that. The
Oh,
journalist.
did they? Oh, sorry. Yeah, okay. I'm just saying what it said. Okay.
I read that and I was a bit surprised, but anyway. But yeah, I was definitely having trouble walking at the start, but I could talk fine.
And it did miss the main artery of your head. So I remember they were saying that. And Phil Hughes, a cricketer, copped a bouncer and hit his main artery, and he died. And geez, Sticksy, mate. These concussions need to be taken really seriously, because people don't know there is actually a main artery in your head. If you get hit hard enough, you will die. So, yeah, it is quite a scary thing. And it's good you're still with us, mate, and you've been able to have a life with a job, and you've got a partner. It's really good, mate. Unfortunately, you're deaf in your right ear, but as long as the other ear's working, you're all good, mate. So how long did it take you to actually start working a job again after your concussion hit?
I think maybe like 4 months. I started going back and doing 3 half days a week, and then I did that for a few months, and then maybe next step would have been 5 half days, and gradually progressed. And then I think maybe it was a long time before I could like consistently work a full week without having, every now and then I'd have to take a week off or whatever because I've stirred something up. But probably for at least the last 2.5 years now, I've been able to work a full week consistently.
That's good, man.
So yeah, so probably about 18 months before I could work a full week, I think. Yeah.
Do you still get ringing in your head or anything like that?
I've got tinnitus in the right ear, which is just like a constant ringing, but you get used to it.
It doesn't hurt, it's just annoying?
No, yeah, it's just annoying when I think about it, like right now, but otherwise, no, I don't notice it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
No, it's good, mate. You've been able to handle that, which is good. Now, on these YouTube clips in relation to your concussions, are you still training 2 hours a day to get your cognitive skills back? Like, are you still doing that head spin and your footwork on that cushion thing you were doing? Are you still doing all that?
Yeah, still doing all that. It changes a bit, like as I go. I see a specialist about once every 6 weeks, and depending on how I'm going, we adjust the exercises to what I need to focus on. But yeah, it's basically the same gist. A lot of watching dots and balancing on.
And it's helped you.
It's 100%. Yeah, definitely.
That's good. That's really good, mate. And it's really disciplined that you are still doing exercises to try help you with your cognitive skills and getting all that back. It's really good. Now, the football insurance, these YouTube clips were saying initially they weren't going to pay you money. Did anything ever get sorted out where the insurance company, they gave you money for your head knock injury that forced you into retirement from playing footy?
No, I never got any money for the brain issues and stuff. I got a little bit for the hearing loss. But yeah, never got anything for the concussion or what's followed from that.
That's actually very sneaky.
Yeah,
by the insurance company, because they know there's so many concussions are happening now, and there's a lot of older people that have had quite a few concussions, and they're struggling with their life after sport, which I was going to talk to you about now. There are quite a few NRL and AFL players that have struggled with CTE, which is brain damage from having either a few really bad concussions or just too many minor ones, or a combination of both. CTE stands for chronic traumatic encephalopathy. Sorry, guys, that was a big word for me to pronounce. But anyway, yeah, it's basically brain damage from having too many concussions. It can lead to struggling with anger, struggling with mood things like depression and things like that. People that also have CTE, they struggle with their focus and clarity a lot during the day. And just Danny Frawley, he took his own life a few years ago, and they operated on his brain, and he had CTE. So it was a problem he had for a long time. So still going through and speaking about CTE. Now, Sticksy, have you seen the movie Concussion with Will Smith?
I have, yeah.
That is a great movie.
A great movie yeah.
Because look, the NFL is massive in America. They've got a lot of stadiums that can hold like more than 100,000 people. They try to brush it under the mat a lot about these concussions because they knew it was a problem, and they didn't want to expose it heavily in the media because they didn't want people's parents having their kids stop playing NFL and doing other things because they were really worried about that. But it all changed in 2011 when the boss of the NFL, his name's David Dewesson, he actually played NFL and he took his own life. He had CTE and he shot himself in the heart, and he left a message for the medical people to examine his brain, and they concluded he had CTE. So, they've got a lot of measures now. I know in the AFL, they've got a panel now, Sticksy. So recently, Jeremy McGovern has been involved with this panel, and what they're doing is they're collating all this information, and they recommend you. It's pretty much mandatory, but when they recommend you to retire, you pretty much got to retire. So Jerry McGovern copped a pretty bad hit for the West Coast Eagles a few rounds ago, and he could very well be someone that's tapped on the shoulder and told to retire. Look, he is aged in his mid-30s, so he's about the age when you do retire anyway. Other players, Nathan Murphy, Collingwood, he was 23, won a premiership, played backline. Unfortunately, he had to retire from having some severe concussions. And look, the list goes on. And there's quite a few AFL players who played through the 2000s, 1990s, 1980s. Greg Diesel Williams played at Geelong and Carlton. He can't remember his playing days. He has so many concussions. It's sad. He's had memory loss. So, look, there's just it's a real shame that concussions can affect you so badly, and it's just people are still learning about them. There's no cure for CTE, so unfortunately, if you do get this problem, you've got it for the rest of your life. There's different things that they can try to help you deal with it, but there actually isn't a cure, which really sucks. Anyway, just some other things about that were really interesting about the movie Concussion. Now, you've got animals like rams and woodpecker. They smash their pecks into trees to create holes, and you've got rams, when they fight each other, they smash into each other's heads. They have shock absorbers in skulls, so it supports their brain. So when they are bashing their heads against things, they're virtually safe. They're not going to get concussions. And unfortunately, humans, they're not built that way. We've got a skull, we've got fluid, and then we've got the brain. So we smash our heads against stuff, the brain gets pounded against the skull, and damage is happening. So, so we just aren't built to smash our heads against things, or else we're going to really, really hurt ourselves and could even get CTE. So it's pretty disappointing there, Sticksy. Anyway, Sticksy, I'll let you know, mate, I actually haven't been concussed, but I have passed out once, and I'll tell you the story. So I was in the cricket nets batting, and it was dark, and I was facing a ball. It had black scuff marks either side because in the nets, you got these rubber mats that go around the side. And you hit the ball, the red cricket ball to the side. Eventually, they get black scuff marks.
Yeah.
And there was this guy bowling. He wasn't that quick, but I just couldn't pick it up very well. Anyway, he's bowled one short, and I could sort of see it. And I've tried to pull it, and I've missed it, and it's hit me straight in the neck. Hit me nice. Anyway, it was near the end of my session. I faced like 3 more balls, and I've gone to walk out back to my cricket bag to take all my my helmet, my gloves, and my leg pads off. And I'm about to take my leg pads off, and all of a sudden, my vision, I had white spots appear, and then my vision went white. And I just passed out, fell on the ground, and the coach saw me, and this other guy that helps out, and the cricket nets, they had a shed right next to it where you have the roller to do the turf wicket. Anyway, the roller wasn't in there, it was outside. So they put me in the shed where you keep the roller, and they laid me on my back, and they got a chair, and they lifted my feet up and put the chair under my feet, and I got my vision back. And anyway, I laid down there for probably, I don't know, 20 minutes to half an hour. They gave me an ice pack. I was just having it on my neck, and yeah, so that's probably the closest thing I've had to a concussion, even though it wasn't a concussion, but I did pass out.
Scary though.
With your concussion, did you pass out? I don't think you did.
I did. I passed out for about 30 seconds. It was a bit of a.
Oh, you did pass out.
Bit delayed.
Okay.
But yeah, it wasn't long. Just everything went black for a bit. But
yeah, because I remember on the YouTube clip you had your arm up, and it looked like your eyes were open, but it must have been they must have just skipped the bit when you were unconscious. Yeah. So anyway, Sticksy, let's talk about something that you and I both like, but I know that you really like: streaming, watching TV series, and watching Netflix. Well, yeah, you are a bit of a Netflix fan, but you also like movies. But which streaming services do you watch at the moment?
What did I used to talk about Netflix every day or something?
No, you used to talk about Stan, Netflix.
Oh, right.
You did, mate. I remember Gotham. Remember Gotham? You used to watch Gotham.
Yeah, I did watch that. I don't have Stan anymore.
It's not on Stan. I got Stan. They don't have Gotham anymore.
Oh, right. No, I'm mainly a Netflix operator. But Kirby and I are watching The Office right now.
Okay, I've heard of The Office. Is that on Netflix?
Yeah. No, that's on Amazon Prime.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Great show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I just kind of watch a bit of junk sometimes. Got into that Drive to Survive show.
Drive to Survive. Is this on Netflix as well?
Yeah.
What's
about the Formula One.
Okay. I know that there is a TV series about Formula One. My brother likes it. Maybe it's the same one you're watching.
Yeah. You used to have those Formula One shoes, those red shoes.
Oh, the Ferraris. Yeah, man. Yeah. Oh, they're gone now, mate. Jeez, your memory's good.
Really?
Yeah, they're in the bin now, mate. Yeah, I really like them. I've got rid of them now. I've got Asics. Come to think of it, mate, I've got these new $200 runners, Asics. Wow. They're really, really the most comfortable shoes I've ever had, and it's like really the soles are really cushiony. So I bought those a few weeks ago, and yeah, look, I've learned, because I used to be a bit of a tight ass. I didn't like spending more than $110 for a pair of runners, but I had it like a Rebel Sport voucher, and I had this other nice voucher that I could use as Rebel as well. So it was valued at $200. So I got these shoes, and mate, I learned the hard way. If you want really nice runners, you got to fork out a bit. These shoes are really nice, man. Anyway, we'll talk about binge. Have you ever watched binge?
I haven't. I know what it is, but I haven't got that.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you now, mate, they're screwed. And I'll tell you why they're screwed, because HBO Max have taken a lot of their exclusive content. So do you know what HBO Max is? It's basically Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
So what happened was Foxtel did a deal with Warner Brothers for it was for quite a while, and they had exclusive content I'll read them out. So they had Game of Thrones binge from HBO Max. They also had Game of Thrones House of Dragon, two very, very popular TV series. Friends, Big Bang Theory, the Harry Potter movies, the DC Universe movies and TV series like the Batman movies, Superman, the Wonder Woman, Justice League, Last of Us, that TV series with the zombies. It's got Pedro Pascal, Penguin with Colin Farrell,
Yep.
The White Lotus, Euphoria, Succession. I've never watched those, but they are popular. They're off binge and they're gone to HBO Max. And mate, HBO Max, you're a bit young, but there was a social media platform called MySpace, and it was massive for a few years. And then Facebook came along, and no one used MySpace anymore. Now, the fact that HBO Max have taken virtually all the good, really good exclusive content from binge, it's scary, mate. I don't know if anyone will watch binge in the next 6 to 12 months. They could. If you don't have really good exclusive stuff, you're screwed as a streaming service. So, anyway, mate.
They're going under, you reckon?
So, look, yeah. So, within our family, we're all paying a subscription each, and we're given the passwords around. So, I'm paying for Stan. My brother was paying for binge. Now he's gone HBO Max. We've scrapped binge. My dad's paying for KO and Netflix. And what happens is with Netflix, because they've got the password sharing crackdown now, if you pay the most expensive subscription, you can get 2 people on there, and you pay an extra $7 per person. So it's like me and my brother were on that. We've got Amazon as well. Disney Channel. So we've all shared it amongst our family. We're all paying for a subscription and sharing the passwords around. But
Can you flick me the Stan on?
What do you want?
Can you flick me the Stan?
Yeah, I'll probably help you out there, mate. Yeah, so Stan at the moment, their exclusive stuff, they got like The Walking Dead, some of their spin-off series, because you got the main Walking Dead, but now they're doing spin-offs. They got the Power series. You heard of the Powers?
I've heard of it, yeah.
You never watched it?
I haven't watched it. I've seen the big posters around town. But
the first Power is pretty good.
The
actor that plays Ghost.
Cent?
Sorry?
Was that 50 Cent was in that one?
Yeah, he was. He was he did act in it, and he was also the producer and director as well. So, yeah, 50 Cent was heavily involved with Power. Yeah, so, and also Channel 9 owns Stan from memory. And what else? Stan had got a documentary about Craig Bellamy. You'd probably like that one. Because he's been such a great coach for so long. He's always got the Melbourne Storm in a position to win a championship. They don't always win them, but geez, he gets them into that many grand finals.
He's done good.
Yeah. So anyway, mate, I'll let you know some of the stuff I've been watching recently. So I was really, really sick the other week, and I had a few days off work, and there's a TV series called Daryl Dixon. So it's a spin-off of The Walking Dead. Have you ever watched The Walking Dead?
No.
Anyway, Daryl Dixon, he's pretty cool, right? He's got a crossbow, and it's quite unique, this spin-off series. They film it in France, and they've got quite a few actors that have they speak French, English, and it's quite unique. I really liked it. So look, the scenery is actually beautiful. They do a really nice job. They've got drones. They're doing nice scenery shots a lot. And look, there's good fighting scenes. It's quite amazing how they do these zombie battles, how they make it so real when they're cutting their heads off, or they've got a baseball bat and they're smashing it. They're just, what they do with TV series now and effects, it's amazing. It had a pretty good, solid storyline. Dialogue scenes were beautiful. There's season 1 and season 2, both 6 episodes each. And look, I did like it. It's not for everyone, but I liked it. I gave it a 7 out of 10. If you gave me a rating out of 10 for that one, Daryl Dixon. Now, Norman Reedus is the actor that plays him, and he's pretty popular. He's got more than 8 million followers on Instagram. And there's a new movie coming out called Ballerina, and it's based in the John Wick universe. So
Mm.
um, Keanu Reeves will be in it as John Wick, but just as a side character. So Ballerina, it's Norman Reedus is in it, and then it's based on this girl who I think is going to be a hitman. You ever watch the John
Yeah.
Wick movies?
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
pretty full on. You like them?
Yeah. Yeah. They're all right.
They've
Yeah.
got really good fighting scenes.
Yeah.
The third one, John Wick 3. Do you remember when John Wick fights a really tall guy in a library?
Yeah.
That guy's
Yeah.
a basketballer.
Oh.
He used to play for the Dallas Mavericks. Yeah, he's massive. He's like
Yeah.
7 foot.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
Right.
pretty
What's his name?
interesting. I can't. I think his last name's Bogdanovich.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Boban
Yeah.
Bogdanovich is huge.
That's it. Yeah.
He's huge. I think he's taller than 7 foot. Anyway, it's pretty funny watching John Wick fight him.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was going to have a word to you about this movie, mate. It's on Amazon, and I think it's a nice, easy watch. It's called Mobland. It's got
Right.
um, John Travolta in it.
Yeah.
So I watched it with my partner the other week, and long story short, they're giving away too much. It's based in this town in Alabama. Alabama is very much a country area of America, and there's an issue with OxyContin. So, do you know much about OxyContin?
Yeah. The
It's basically a
painkiller.
painkiller drug. So,
Yeah.
people that have had severe pain from an injury, or people that have severe pain with arthritis or cancer, they get on OxyContin. And look, it does have its side effects, OxyContin. So, it can affect people. You can get constipated, you can have nausea, you can feel like fatigued a lot when you're on it. You can get headaches a lot and get rashes on your skin. So, look, it has its positives that helps you with dealing with pain, but it's got quite a few negatives as well, and it's quite addictive. Anyway, long
Have you
story
ever done
short,
it?
with Mobland, there's this guy, and what he's doing, he's illegally making OxyContin, and he's got a dodgy doctor working with him, and he's supplying the illegal OxyContin. And this town in Alabama, a lot of people are getting on this OxyContin and they're getting addicted to it. And some people are even dying. Anyway, the main character has a stepbrother and he's a bit of a badass. And also, his brother is John Travolta's character, who's a sheriff. And so, long story short, they go to rob this place that's illegally dealing the OxyContin, and they steal Oxy and they steal money. And what's happened is the stepbrother didn't properly kill one of the witnesses, and the guy that's the drug dealer that's making the OxyContin illegally, he's hired a hitman to help him find out who um, robbed him, and he set him out to find who it is and kill him. And yeah, it's pretty good, man. It has a very unpredictable ending, so I won't expose that. But for the people
Right.
out there that want to have a nice, easy watch, something interesting, something, yeah, with like a country kind of misfit robber storyline. Um, and for the John Travolta fans, he's actually quite good in it. Go watch Mobland on Amazon. Look, with the movie Mobland, I also rate it a 6 out of 10. It was a pretty easy film to watch. It wasn't complex or anything with information overload, and the movie had a pretty unpredictable ending, which I liked.
What's your
So,
favorite movie ever
geez,
of all
look, I've got
time?
a few up there, man. I like Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. I think that was probably the third or fourth most recent Mission Impossible made. It was brilliant. That's
Yeah.
really, really good. Look, I love my action movies. Um, look, John Wick for his fight choreography scenes, they've got the best fighting scenes ever in the John Wick films. So, look, they're right up there, the John Wick films. I love them. Geez, mate, I'll have to get back to you. I've seen so many
Terminator.
movies. What was that? Sorry?
Terminator.
Terminator 2 is legendary. The second one. That is hasta la vista, baby. Get down, get to the chopper. Get down quickly, they're trying to kill you. John
Okay.
Connor, get down. Yeah.
Nice, nice.
Hasta la vista, baby. Yeah. Mate, Arnie's a legend, mate. He's getting on a bit. Um, he's aged in his 70s now. I don't know if he has any more Terminator films in him.
Mm,
The most recent one that was made four years ago, and it had the actor that played Sarah Connor in Terminator 2. That was good. Wouldn't say it's as good as Terminator 2, but
mm,
yeah, mate.
mm.
It is legendary Terminator 2. Anyway, Sticks, have you got
Hello.
any questions, mate, for me to answer?
Well, I was just gonna say, I like how you did the recording at the start for your Keats pod intro.
Yeah.
How many goes did that take?
Oh, look, I just had some notes here. Um, what I'd kind of say in dot points. So kind of winged it, mate. Just got a few dot
No,
points here.
I mean like the when the Keats pod starts on
Oh, with Arnold
Spotify.
Schwarzenegger?
Yeah, yeah. Is that's you recorded yourself?
No, no. There's a voice
Oh,
emulator. There's a voice
right.
emulator, and I found it. And I typed in Keats Pod Baby, and it goes Keats Pod Baby, and I downloaded it. Yeah.
Nice,
I wanted
mate,
people to
nice.
laugh before the pod
Yeah.
started, so that's why I did it.
Maybe you should do I'll be back at the end as well.
Yeah, yeah, I should do
Yeah,
that. I should do that.
yeah.
Anything else, Dixie? You got any other questions, mate?
um, do you reckon like Terminator, like artificial intelligence is gonna do the same thing in the real world?
Look, mate, they say that artificial intelligence is the next $1 trillion industry. I know that Elon Musk is building Tesla robots. Um, I don't think he's building Tesla robots as an army, but I think he's just. I've seen a design he did. It's going to be like a housemaid Tesla robot. Just goes
Right,
around, like cleans the house, does cooking and stuff. So, look,
scary.
in terms of having an army of robot artificial intelligence, it's very risky. It's very expensive. Um,
Mm,
will it ever happen? Probably. Maybe past our lifetime.
yeah,
Geez,
hopefully.
it'd be very expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, geez, it's hard to say, mate. Another thing, Stixie, the fact that we don't have artificial intelligent soldier robots. One reason why is because of hacking. So, for example, if Australia invested billions and billions and billions of dollars into hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of robotic AI army soldiers to protect our country from an invasion, for example, China, and China know about this, China could just easily, well, wouldn't say easy, but China would try to hack the database system of these artificial intelligence soldier army robots and could quite simply turn them against Australian people. And they'll be laughing in their country over there, watching the artificial intelligent robots, army soldiers wiping out the Australians that created them and the whole population. So that could be another reason why we may never see artificial intelligent army soldier robots ever. But look, it's not
Scary
good.
though.
It's not good having humans fight either. We've got
Mm,
families and people love and care for each other. And just what's happening in that Ukraine war at the moment, where look, I don't know if you're updated too much, but more than a million and a half people have died in that war, both Ukrainians and Russians. Look, Vladimir Putin, they're going down the street just getting anyone like males between the age of 18 and 30, no combat experience, forcing them to go out there and fight. Um, he just won't back down. He really wants to take over a fair bit of land of Ukraine, and it's very sad. You know, Ukraine in 1991 were grant independence, and you got this bully over there. He's forcing. Yeah, it's gone past his army now. He's getting innocent people from Russia to go in there and fight. And there's also Ukraine people with no war experience as well. That NATO are helping them out a lot. The Ukrainians, they're training them up properly before they're getting groups of them, training them up before they go out and help defend Ukraine. They have more of a purpose to fight the Ukrainians. I'm telling you now, probably 99% of Russian soldiers don't want to be in this fight. A lot of Russian and Ukrainian people, they know each other. They've got friendships with each other. Unfortunately, you just got one dickhead running a country that wants to be a bully and take land and control Ukraine in certain ways. But geez, if there were robots in that fight, both those countries would just be wasting a lot of money, way more money now than what they're wasting. Yeah.
True.
True. Any other questions, mate?
Are you still living are you in Kensington still?
No, I live in Altona Meadows now. So Altona, it's in the West Melbourne, and it's near a beach. I don't know. Did you ever work in Altona?
Oh, a little bit. Maybe not near any beaches though, I don't think.
Yeah. So Altona Meadows is right next to it. So that's where I am at the moment. I actually got my partner and I bought a house. It's just a 2-bedroom unit, 540K. So we got this only a few months ago. So yeah, it's been pretty decent so far. We've had a bit of a rat and mice infestation in the roof. We had to pay someone to come and put poison up there to kill off all the rats and mice. So what he said to me was, they're going to get poisoned, these rats and mice, and then they're going to go down your drain. They're going to go somewhere else and die somewhere. And because I was asked a question, mate, I'm going to have a whole heap of rats and mice just die up in my ceiling roof. He's like, nah, man, they're going to leave your house and die somewhere else. I'm like, I hope so. So we heard some noises last night. He only came a week ago, and he said, give it 3 weeks. If you're still hearing noises in the ceiling, give me a buzz. I'll come back for free and I'll put more poison up there. So funny. Yeah. So he's like a pest. He's a pest remover. So what he did was he had like a camera wrapped around his head, and he went up there and he took film shots. And I've got insulation upstairs with just rat and mice poo all over the insulation. So he's got the proof, and he actually showed some mice in the ceiling and rats. And so he was pretty eager to get back down and show me the footage. I'm like, all right, mate, just get the poison up there and kill them off. So besides that, the house is pretty solid, mate. So
no, that's right. Do you think you'll live there forever, or?
Hard to say. I do plan on renovating this house. There's a back al fresco and deck. I do plan on getting that demolished, extending out the lounge room, and then turning. We've got a section of our house which is the lounge room at the moment. We're going to turn that to a bedroom. So I plan on doing this renovation anywhere between the next 5 to 10 years. I just got to get more money before I do it, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Are you sleeping better these days, or you still have to have your
sleep apnea? Yeah, I'll still use the machine, mate. I've got that forever. I'll sleep pretty well, mate. Like as soon as I shut my eyes, it could be like, I don't know, 20 seconds, 30 seconds. I'm out like a light, and I wake up next morning feeling fresh as a daisy.
All right.
Maybe we wrap it up, Sticksy. What do you reckon?
Right on. Yeah.
Anyway, mate, you've been a fantastic guest. It's great to chat with you. Next time we do a pod, make sure your headphones recharge 100%. Anyway, mate.
Sorry, bro.
Anyway, this is going to be a great pod. I can't wait to get it out. I'll try to get it out in the next few days. All right, champ?
All right, beauty.
All right.
Thanks,
see you, mate. Thanks for your time.
See you, mate.
See you, pal.
Bye.